Hey, what's up, guys? I am now live after quite a bit of a journey here. Here we have our first viewer already, Dan Park. What's up? Welcome to the stream. I need to update my little sidebar, so I'm going to do that right now. Today we'll be going over the highly anticipated April 2022 school day reading test. That shouldn't. Okay, yeah, that's fine with the spacing over there. So I think we can get right into it, really. Now, today I had a long day where I was using my voice a lot. I can feel the soreness, honestly, coming in. I'm a little scared, honestly, for my throat. So I will try to avoid overly straining my voice while also giving a proper, a proper exciting SAT administration. Okay, so we'll get right into it. Okay, so let me clean up some of this stuff, and we're about to get going. James Joyce, crazy. Before I go right into the passage, in fact, I'll zoom out so that this doesn't distract us too much. I'll just do a quick recap of how I approach the test. This is strategy recap. So basically the key principles for my test taking is I will read the passage first. I will map what I remember from the passage as I read the passage. And using that map, I will read the question stems. And when I read the question stems one by one, I will make a prediction for what I think the answer is, and then I will select the answer that is closest to my prediction. Two big differences. The first big difference is I focus on the reading, and you'll notice that I actually read slower than many of you guys. The second big difference is that when I make my predictions from the question stem based on my map of the passage, I will not necessarily do process elimination, even though process elimination is like the strategy that everyone talks about. For these streams, I tend to sort of overemphasize how little I use process elimination, mainly to make a point that process elimination is not a real way of taking a test. It's a sort of backup for taking an SAT test, a backup that helps you kind of increase your confidence when you're kind of stuck and when you can't make a good prediction, stuff like that. But it's not really the main weapon you want to bring. So that's my brief strategy recap. If you have more questions about it, you can ask in the comments or in the chat as I take this test. As I go through this test, I will be replying to any easy questions. Any questions that require like long, thoughtful answers, I will not be replying to them until after the test is over. So you might have to wait for quite a bit for me to actually get back to you. Now, if you are watching this stream as a recording, as in you're not watching it live, you're watching it later after the fact, then I strongly recommend watching it at like 1.5 or 2.0 or even 2.5, 3.0 speed. Just to kind of get through it a little faster. And also to use the chapters that I will eventually timestamp. Use the chapters to navigate. If you're on a MacBook, for example, you can use Alt. So you can use Option, left and right arrow to jump around between the chapters. All right, well, that's it. Let's get started. I have my little stopwatch over here. And we're going to go It is July 4th morning, so I have no idea. In the States, it's July 4th evening here in Korea where I am. So I have no idea if anyone's even going to be watching this stream. But if you are, say hi. About to get started. First passage. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. A Little Cloud. James Joyce, 19. Well, let's see how let's see how hard this is. There's a comma here. It's weird. He had got on. What does that mean? That means he got successful. He was talented. And he's unspoiled by success. It's good to have a friend like that. Chandler. The great city of London. Gallagher lived. Little Chandler. Being a little... I see, that's a little insulting. White and small. His nails were perfect. Childish white teeth. What the? This is so insulting. As he sat at his desk in the Kensington, he thought what changes those years have brought. Because this is 8 years later. They had a guys became a figure on the London press. Oh. So they were secretive before. What is this scene about? To gaze out the office window. He watched the scene and thought of life. And became sad whenever he thought of life. So sad. How useless to struggle against fortune. So we're still talking about little Chandler. He's held back from reading poetry to his wife. So he's a sort of a crushed fellow. He's a sad and crushed fellow. When his hour had struck, he stood up, took leave punctiliously. Okay, he's a neat, punctilious person. Grimy children. Nay. Lol. Interesting bit here. Suddenly this random swerve out to society. Little Chandler gave him the thought. He gave the mini life and shot on special mansions 405. I'm actually having a hard time. Roistered, is that a word? Cloister? Roistered? Oh, a present joy. That's surprising. Whoa. He had never been in Corliss. Oh, it's a fancy restaurant. Spoke French and German. How fancy. Cavaliers. They wore noisy dresses, many rests. Okay, so he left his job punctiliously, and now he's going to this dinner. Damn, dude. Apprehensive and excitedly. Sometimes, however, he courted the causes of his fears because he worked in the darkest, narrowest streets. He was actually inviting the thing that he would be afraid of. The silence troubled him. Silence figures. This is such an interesting, like, okay, no, because this isn't real people. This isn't real people. So I got confused. A fugitive laughter. What a great word. Tremble like a leaf. He turned to the right toward Capel Street. Ignatius Gallagher on the London Press. The signs of future greatness in his friend. Huh. Did we have Capel Street before? Well, I have a rough idea of what's happening in the story, so I'm going to stop there. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so we're at 5:50. And now we're going to get into my map of the passage. Here's my map of the passage. My map of the passage. I'm going to try to recall everything I remember. I'm going to recall everything that I remember from top to left. Sorry, top to bottom, left to right. Here we go. First column, top. 8 years ago, Gallagher was sent off, and he was sort of destined for success. That's the rough gist of the first paragraph that I remember. Second paragraph. C, I'm going to call him C because I literally forgot his name already. And I'm going to... C recalls Gallagher, and... Oh, C has a meeting with Gallagher now. It's 8 years later. And that's what he's thinking about. And he was called Little Chandler. Oh, it's Chandler, I think. He was called Little Chandler by Gallagher because not only, like, yes, he was a little smaller than average, but actually it's mainly his personality and his character and his sort of aura. He seems like a little person. His hands are white and frail. And what's it? The details there were freaking devastating. They were so cruel, but I can't remember them all. But his hands were white and frail. His teeth were neat and childish. Yeah, he just seemed like a little child. He's just like a little person. Like I don't know what it was, but they made him sound really diminutive, and it was pretty disrespectful. Honestly, it was pretty disrespectful. That was the second column. That was the second paragraph. At the bottom of the first column, then I think it says. I don't remember the bottom of the left side. Like. It continues to talk about how he's sad, but that starts at the top of the right side. So I don't remember the transition. I don't remember the segue. But yeah, so the bottom left, I don't really remember. But the top right, we get this thing where he's looking at the scene and he's sad. Every time he looks outside at the world, at life itself, he gets sad. And then in the middle of the right column, it talks about how one day he had bought all these poetry books, and he wanted to every once in a while he wanted to like actually read some of this poetry to his wife, but he never could. He was too shy. Yeah, sad. So that's the kind of person he is. Bottom right of that page, I forget. But basically bottom right of that page, his hour has come. It's now time for him to go and meet Gallagher. And crazy thing is, he gets up punctiliously. He comes out into the sun, and he sees like a bunch of poor people for some reason. That's like a very surprising little thing that happens. And then he is feeling happy. This is the third column now. Third column at the top. He's like anticipating with a little bit of apprehension, I think was the word they used. But he's also very excited because he's never been to this place before. And I forget the name of this place, but it's just like a fancy restaurant where they have French and German speaking waiters, where all like the people come out. Their night out on town, it's out to this place. It's a fancy place where everyone's dressed up. And now he's finally going to see Gallagher over there. Because his friend Gallagher is so successful. So he's like, who'da thunk it? Gallagher making it out on the London press, right? Oh, and that's the conclusion, really. But right before the conclusion, he's actually inviting his own fears. He's feeling a little bit of courage. Even he's walking through the dark alleyways, and it does make him scared. But he's kind of, it's like this weird thing where he's actually inviting it for himself. And then he sort of reflects on how successful his old friend Gallagher has become. So that is the passage. All right, that's my map of the passage. Let's go and solve some questions now. Here we go. What the heck? Hang on. How come I can't? The tool is broken. There we go. All right, now we're about to get into the map of the past. So the questions. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Oh, sorry. I actually need to start this. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Summarizes the passage. A guy reunites with an old friend and this. Nope. To reflect on both the past and the present. Maybe. Start a new life. Nope. Assistance to an old friend. Is he reflecting on the past and the present? I guess he is, right? His thoughts of back in the day. No, this is the present. What changes those years had brought? Okay. Yeah, this is the past. Okay. That works. 640. Let's keep going. Gallagher. The state of mind that Gallagher inspires. A sort of, not just nostalgia. It's like he's impressed. Calls to mind thinking about it. I don't know about his, no. Downplay achievements to make it no. He envied, no. Thankful, no. Okay. His own unhappiness. Does it make him think of his happiness? He turned off from his gaze. Tiresome writing to gaze out the office window. Oh, I see. He's a writer. They're both writers. And this is his... Interesting. Okay, I'm not 100% sure on this, but it's good enough to go. Rationalize his own passivity. Where do we get his passivity? I think this is the second column. But I don't remember rationalizing. Oh, the burden of wisdom. 37 to 39. Yep, that's rationalizing. 810. His prominent characteristics is I'm looking at ABCD real quick. Critical of aspirations. No. Vain about his appearance. Maybe that. He's not boastful. He's not unpredictable. He's not critical. Maybe. Do we get personal appearance? Okay, that was what I thought personal appearance would come out. Oh, right here, 16 through 21. 16 through 18, 16 through 19 specifically. Yeah. 9:15. Let's keep going. Took me a minute to get that. It's taking me a while to get through this. The observations serve two. The observations serve two. 27:37. This is the glow. So this is the thing that makes him sad. Okay, it serves to be like a template for his sadness. Yeah, so it's sort of a alters the interactions. No, beauty affects all. Subtle influence of the sunset exerts on the mood. Yeah, there we go. Toward 10. Figure most nearly means. I'm getting bit by a mosquito, I feel like. A neat, modest figure. He merged. A neat, modest shape, silhouette. Shape, silhouette. Not artwork. Social image, but yeah. Silhouette. 1020. No memory of the past touched. Little Chandler. I don't remember that. Oh, right. No memory of the past touched him. So in that context, what is he doing? He gave them no thought. He's not thinking about these things. He's actually really absorbed. All that my new life and under the shadow of the gone spectral mansions in which the old nobility, no memory of the past for his... Okay, there we go. Yeah, main effect of that... Sorry, so the main thing is that it actually makes him... ignorant of his, doesn't fix his attention on the age and decay of his surroundings. Good. Yeah, he's not paying attention to his area, to his surroundings, is what I was looking for. Let's keep going. A contradictory impulse. He fixated on a social world is a hollow spectacle. Does he believe to be a hollow spectacle? I don't remember that. He immerses himself since frivolous. Does he believe that? He scorns hysterical. Preferable. Oh yeah, excitement menacing. We got this. 1135. I did have to do process elimination for that one. Best evidence is in the end 72, 78, 72-ish. Yeah, 76. Let's go 76 is correct. So that's 1150. 1155, I guess. The main effect of the last paragraph is to get his little reflection. Who would have thought? It's kind of a little bittersweet because conveys sense that hindsight let a degree inevitably... Yeah, that's basically exactly what it does. So I'm going to move on. Next question. Here we go. Thank you, Dan. Large competitors. I see. This is about business. Large competitors are viewed as a threat, but actually it could be a good because they have more resources, more power, awareness. However, it finds that a smaller brand can actually benefit if they can see a competitive threat it faces from. Oh, that's interesting. If consumers can see the threat from the larger organization. So if I tell you I'm fighting against Google and then I try to sell something to you, it actually might be a good thing for me, branding wise. So there's JP Licks and a chain, a locally owned company, will be now, but actually they rallied around and the chain closed its location. I bet that was Baskin Robbins. When the owner of Los Angeles based, my cats are yapping, and the national chain later, last coffee store chain, Coffee Bean Tea Leaf. Oh, okay, we get the name out here. Could not stop a large coffee chain. His sales, he was, okay. Interesting. That must be talking about Starbucks. It's interesting that Coffee Bean is considered a small chain. These examples are not anomalies. In 6 studies, we stop. I'm so distracted. What's with my cat? I've never heard them make that noise before. They're so cute. Ogo? Okay. My cats are being silly, so I'm just gonna continue. Three, two, one, let's go. Highlighting a large competitor size can help. Cool. Intention, purchase, and reviews all go up. Oh, this is a field study, and this is a what? Kind of confusing organization, but sure. 163 shoppers are exposed to one of three versions of an in-store ad, emphasizing number one, the large competitors, small competitors, or no competition. Never heard those sounds from my cats before. It's very distracting. Who read the large competitors version was told that the main competitor are other Cambridge and no competition or no. Okay. They were given a $5 coupon. Could with the okay. And the sales receipts and number of coupons, we saw that they were more likely to make a purchase after reading the large competitor versions. They also purchased more items and spent more money. So purchases, items, and actual gross sales. And it's kind of easy. I'm reading this too slowly. It's sort of an easy study. Decrease. That's interesting. $16.55, and we're stopping. Honestly, it's sort of a strangely organized passage. I mean, so I know I'll continue to read the. Let me read the graphs first. Here we go. Making a purchase in a small bookstore. Okay, control, no information. Small competitors. Likelihood of making a purchase is 60, 70. So this is not 0%, by the way. And here it's 90. Okay. Got it. Joe Avery was part of this study? Interesting. Do I know this Joe Avery? Is that the right person? Control average dollar value. So this is the volume. Yep. The value goes up and likelihood also goes up. 17.35, and we'll stop. Here's my map. Here's my map of the passage. My map of the passage. Top left. People think that when a huge competitor joins a fight for a particular retail segment, the smaller local shop would lose because the other one has more money, more resources, more brand awareness, blah, blah, blah. Turns out it's not true. Then we go, I think in the second paragraph, we go straight into examples. There's like this Boston bookstore or no, ice cream shop, and then there's like this other, and then there's like a LA coffee shop, and both of them, they won against the larger chain that jumped in. The consumers rallied around them, is what they said. I think that's covering the top and the middle of the column. Now we're still in the middle, I think. So these researchers, we examined this effect in 6 experiments and 1 field study or something like that, and found that in every case, whenever you framed it as a large competitor, we are, fighting against a large competitor. Consumers were more likely to make purchases to support you. At the bottom left there, we go into a field study, and the field study is they go into a Cambridge bookstore, a small bookstore, and they run 3 advertisements inside the store. And these 3 advertisements are, hey, control. No mention of competition whatsoever. Variant 1 says, we are competing against other small bookstores. And then variant 2 says, we're competing against really large bookstores. Okay. So each one of these posters or ads were associated with some coupons. And I guess, yeah, and so basically these coupons, whenever you use them, that would mean, because they're coded to be associated with the ad that they saw, you would be able to tell whether that made an effect on their purchasing decision. And the results are they were more likely to purchase, they purchased more, they spent more money, and they redeemed the coupons more frequently, something like that. Okay, just like a lot. So basically, whenever you saw the large competitor version, you were much more likely to support. Okay, so that's the top right, and now I think we're in the middle right, but middle right is almost the end, really. That's their experiment, and then they followed up, I think, with a different experiment. What was their final experiment? Oh, they went and found out that if you had a hypothetical tire company and they were small or large, people didn't really care which one to support, but if you had large, they would always overwhelmingly support the small one, something like that. I don't fully understand that experiment, but I got the rough gist of it. Okay, so that's my map of that passage. I would say for my map of the passage, I would give myself a grade of a B-ish, because I got all the details and I got the experiments, but some parts of it are a little fuzzy. So like some of the details are fuzzy. So I got the main structure and I got all the important experiments, but some details are a little fuzzy. So I'm gonna give myself a B for that map of the passage. All right, that's it for the map. I'm gonna go into the questions now. Here we go. Excuse me. Oh, I'm like a little tired, but here we go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. The structure. A popular belief. Supporting, nope. An unexpected claim about consumer behavior, sure. Supporting and confirming the claim. Examples and the experiments are discussed, yes. Because let me just double check that that's correct. Yeah. Examples are here, and then these examples, and then we have yes. I don't even need to double check the rest. I am sure. Lines 11 to 12. Some people expected that they would lose. They anticipated, not hoped. 18, 20. Okay, moving on. 13. The third paragraph primarily serves 2. 22 to 33. Is this the examples one? Nope. This is the overview of their research. Overview of the research. And their results. Outline the steps. Nope. Not a challenge. Summarize the findings. Yeah. Interpretation of another research interpretation. 1850. Let's keep going. Best evidence for the idea that consumers' promotion of a small company may extend beyond shopping at its stores. Beyond shopping. Huh. Oh, maybe the bottom? Hang on. No, that's not what the parts that we're asking about. Okay. Oh, beyond shopping. This is, reviews and stuff. So that's 34. 33, I mean. 33. Reviews. 1925. Okay. Environment most nearly means 48. Environment. 48. We're given no. Oh, okay. About the situation, circumstances. Yeah. 1940. Let's keep going. 16. We're at. If consumers of a large chain bookstore were given information focusing on the store's small competitors, a likely result is large will lose purchases. Positive, no. More positive, no. Gain, no. Benefit, no. They would lose customers. Okay, yeah. 2010. This is at the last paragraph, so that's probably 69 or so, or 65 or 69. Yep, 65 to 69. Okay. So that is correct. 2025. And then over here, which approach for increasing the likelihood of consumers making purchases in small stores best supported? Which approach for increasing purchase is supported by Figure 1? Figure 1 says, oh, focus on large competitors. Do not focus on small competitors. Yeah, I guess that works, but that's not the best choice. It's just a choice. Nope. No, it just after that. Yeah. You can't do anything better, so. Okay, it's kind of an awkward question, but yeah, that works. I mean, it's awkward because it's intuitively, it's not what I would be thinking about, but yeah, that makes sense. The average dollar value purchases. That mentions small competitors in small bookstore, okay? So let's go. Small competitors in small bookstore. The average dollar value was like 18-ish. Oops. Figure 1 and 2. I'm gonna support, if I look at Figure 1 and 2, I'm gonna support a small place over a large place, but it's not going to support us small place over another small place. But the average dollar support is still roughly similar. Oh, it's almost the same as the control. Interesting. Spend less. Large versus no. Yeah. I mean, that's just true, so I don't need to double check the last one. Okay, and we're moving on to the third passage. Here we go. By the way, it's 23 minutes. It's not the worst. Not the best either. After decades of decline, tiger populations could be on the rise. Trouble with tiger numbers. So we're going to doubt the data somehow. After years of hard work by conservationists, good news for tigers. The World Wildlife Fund may have been slowly rising. If these prove true, first time in more than a century that they've grown. That's crazy. If they're true. What year was this? 2016 versus 2016, okay? Success of conservation programs. Hemley, Jeanette Hemley. Cautiously hopeful. Okay, so everyone's like, no one's making strong, bold arguments about these numbers. Counting isn't easy. Interesting. Their habitats become tiny and scattered. They're elusive. They're hiding. Combined with their low numbers, these factors make them, plus low numbers. So there's uncertainty. Are they truly on the rise? Maybe. They're just better serving methods. While the global number may have gone up, country by country is sobering. It's not super positive. Others have seen tigers disappear. Let's keep going. Capture, recapture, large scale. Oh. Okay, that's like a technique. And that's like a technique. These are the techniques for range estimating. This is not unique to tigers. This is general. Although the science has progressed, its adoption has not. Okay, most of these countries don't use the best way of counting. It's insidious to rely on outdated tools. 3890, let me just double check. Wow. Same number. Flawed methodologies, use of statistically weak extrapolations and field counts of spore. What's spore? Animal dropping. Oh my god, that is pretty terrible. That's like boo. $26.50 by the way. Okay, this is undermining efforts to save tigers by distracting. From what the heck? The overall number may not matter. The source populations, okay, are the ones we need to monitor vigilantly. We just need source populations. We need to just increase them. Okay, yeah, that sounds like a very practical, hard-nosed approach. That makes sense to me. Progress can stall from lack of understanding and political considerations for even centuries. We cannot afford to divorce conservation from sound science. We need proper science to save these tigers. Stop. And now I'm going to go into my map of the passage. Here we go. I'm a little tired, but let's just keep going. Tired and itchy with, I think, mosquitoes just getting, like, having a feast on me. Here's my map of the passage, passage 3. First column, top left, passage 1 says, hey, there's some new numbers that are out, and if they are true, it sounds like for the first time in a century or something like that, tiger numbers are up globally. Counting tigers are not easy. But it looks like the numbers are 3,900, which is a big number jump up from 3,200 in 2010. Counting tigers are not easy. It didn't mention that, but I don't remember how exactly it mentioned that. Then it says However, the country by country analysis isn't super rosy. It's more sobering. Some countries like Nepal and Thailand or whatever did well, but other countries, they actually went completely off the radar. This might be a reflection of conservation efforts by some of these countries. There's this person, GH, I think, that comes out and says something. I'm summarizing this passage in like very fluid order. I actually went like up and down and up and down and up and down. So I'm all over the place right now in terms of my map of the passage. So that's all I really remember from the first passage, honestly. But I don't even remember it in order. It's just sort of a mushed blend of facts. Okay, so that's my map of the first passage. Second passage, the current counting methods are like capture recapture photography or something like that, and then like one other something modeling, something like that. And we use this for other species, not just tigers. Problem though is that if all these estimates are coming from countries and these countries aren't even using these methodologies, they're using outdated methodologies that are practically fraudulent. Maybe it's because their old methodologies are not only easier to use, but maybe even because it makes the country's conservation efforts look more successful than they otherwise would. That's the top of the right column. I think the middle of the right column should be talking about like statistically. Oh, they actually like condemn some of the actual tests, what the actual practices. They like count spore and some other methods that are pretty terrible. Counting poop sounds like a pretty terrible way of doing it, honestly. And then it says the problem with even counting is that it really distracts true conservationists from our true purpose, which is to focus on the source populations of these tigers and to make sure that they are the ones thriving. We really need to focus on them thriving. That's the bottom of the right column. Top of the third column and the end of the passage goes, history has shown that science can be stalled by ignorance. If you want to save the majestic tiger, we need to let science take over. Something like that. So that's my map of the two passages. I would give myself a C plus or B minus. C plus, because it's honestly, I think I got the gist, but everything's all in fuzzy order even. Even the sequence of things is pretty bad. So I would say C. I just got a C. I got a C for my map of the passage. Let's see how many answers I can get using my map. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Positive, 17, positive. It's a encouraging trend. It's a favorable trend. It's a, 2810. It's difficult because tigers are elusive. Move extremely quickly. Inaccessible, they're elusive. 2820. I forgot about that in my map of the passage, but I completely remember that over here. Which is one factor that might have contributed to the rise in the report. Maybe better reporting techniques. Yep, that was I actually got that just from my prediction. Okay. Best answer. Reporting techniques, that's like in the middle somewhere. 30 to 31. 29, 10. The estimate offered by WWF may be flawed because of the methodology. Reliance on a tool, experimental, no. Incomplete data. Assumption. Incomplete data, let me just double check. $58 to $60. Okay, 30, 15. Yeah, I guess so. 58, 60. Line 62. Would expect to far exceed wanted to realize, to see, to obtain. Let me just double check the object of realize. Growth far is not create. You don't create population growth in this context. It's obtain. Passage 2 attacks, critiques the conservation solutions, questions the credibility, suggests, no, challenges reliability. There we go. 31. Both agree. Sizes are hard to count. Oh, more fully in certain countries. Yeah. $31. They both distinguish between countries. But asserting that such claims first paragraph, okay. Are based on bad data. Yeah. This comes at the bottom of that paragraph of that passage. Will distract. That's 72 to 5-ish. 72 to 5-ish. Okay. 32, 15. And we're done. Whew. Okay, guys, I just did 3 passages, and I'm just tired right now, so I need a break. Also, my voice is so shot, so I need water, and I need to warm it up. I'm gonna take a 5-minute break, guys, and then I'll finish off this test. Hey guys, I look tired. Holy crap. That is not, it's not a good look. Okay, so I got myself some hot honey water uh, because my throat is hurting so hard. Okay, let me just let me just warm my throat up. Yo, what the heck? My camera's still glitching? I thought I fixed this. Oh, now my eyes are all like getting red too. Okay. Uh, my throat is like really, it's just like really messed up right now. I just had, I was just talking so much today. My for my classes and rough times. Okay, so I'm basically functional. So let's finish off this. Let's finish this rodeo, the April 2022. Okay. Now we're getting into the fourth passage. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Principles of anarchism, a political activist. Interesting. We're talking about it from a. Oh my god, what the hell? It's 1905, Parsons. Okay. I think I cannot probably my state my experience with my long connection. So we're gonna focus on her long experience. So we're building up her credentials right now. The labor question. The aggregate power of the government, an instrument to alleviate the sufferings of the people, but a closer study of governments comes to me this is a mistake. Retard progress, they slow down progress by silencing the voice of discontent. Always did, always will, and always must rule in the Council of Nations where majority rule is recognized as the only means of adjusting the affairs of people. The few whose machinations are and schemes, okay? The few always rule. Concentrated power can always be wielded in the interest of the few, expense of the many. Government, oh, is this power reduced to a sentence? Wow. They never lead, they follow progress. Okay? No difference what promise a party might make. Once securely established and control that they were after all but human. They were just human. They were just human. They were but human. To remain in power. to build a machine. These are natural. Do not entrust the management of all its affairs to the party which happened to come into power and therefore was the majority party. So we're against majority rule right now, pretty hard. The kind of book that shall be used. That's already what's happening. Editing, printing, circulating literature. Too great. We should not give it to all these parties. I turn from a socialist to anarchism. Conditions for the fullest development of the individuals. Kind of wish we had a more interesting representation of anarchism in the SAT. But this is still plenty interesting. Just a little bored and a little tired. But here is my map of the passage. My map of the passage. I'll go to the next page so you can. I just zoom in so you can tell I'm not looking. Okay. Here's my map of the passage, starting at the top left. Hey, my name is Parsons, and I'm going to start by explaining my background. She apparently seems to be talking to a bunch of people who are leftists, but not anarchists per se. She's mainly talking to a bunch of socialists. So, back in the day, I also used to think that the aggregate power of society, the government, would be the best way to remedy the ailments of the weak, of the minority, of the poor, of the weak and poor, I guess. Okay. Well, I'm freaking tired. But through careful study of government, through the history of government and its purposes and aims, I've realized, no, that's a mistaken idea. Okay, that's the top left. Moving to the middle left says, all governments seek to, even in a majoritarian rule, even in a majority rule society, all governments have to be made up of these people who these few, because, all governments serve to serve the few over at the expense of the many, serve to benefit the few at the expense of the many, because all governments, even in a society organized by the majority or ruled by the majority, these few have control over all the councils or something like that. Ooh, that was hard to say, but because I'm getting really fuzzy, but yeah, something like that. And it will always be the case that the few will find some way to make the government serve them. It's captured by the few, basically, the government is. Something about human nature is next. Even if we elect a political party to the government, The problem is that because of human nature, these political parties will seek to stay in power. And by seeking to stay, and they will seek to stay in power. And second, they will seek to gain political dominance in order to stay in power. That's the bottom left. Top right says, top right says something like, I don't remember. Top right. Socialists versus anarchists. Top right. Dude, I'm really struggling now. And basically, any political party for the government is never going to be a real solution for the people as a whole. This is why I believe in anarchism instead of socialism. And I really do not remember the whole right column right now. Holy crap, I actually forgot almost the entire right column. I forgot it. I can't remember it right now. Let me take another sip of this hot water. Do I remember now? I don't. So I'm just going to go right into the questions. Let me grade my map of the passage. I'm going to give myself a D minus, I guess. Almost F, but not an actual F because I did still remember all the left side and I kind of know the general thrust. But whoa, I just forgot the right column. All right, so that's my map of the passage, D minus. It's kind of the worst I had in a long time. Okay, I'm gonna blame how tired I am. And let's get into question 31. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Presents herself as someone who, is studied her way. She's sympathetic to more than one political perspective. Yeah, she can understand multiple sides. Discuss that's starting to lose favor. Nope. A new approach to meeting the needs of. Yep. Oops. Provide a rationale for adopting a different ideology. Is that correct? Oh, yeah, it's all about I. Outline an approach. It's not the approach. We're just criticizing something. There's no approach. 38:20. She once believed that the government. Okay. Could be good. Hey, hang on, that was a no-look answer. This is also no-look answer. This is also no-look answer. Pause will take place only when not political parties compel governments, but it's not political parties, so (21, 25, 21, 25, 29, 21, 25. I see. That one was a hard sentence. Proves. Wow, that one was a hard one for me. 27. 26 through, 25. When do we, yeah. When you can no longer silence them. Wow, that one was a hard one. 931 fair. Because I actually didn't understand that sentence the first time I read it. What, reasonable and good and honest. What, adequate. Ooh! Let's double check. That's one's out of power, my make. What honest? What pure? Ho 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 ho. What appealing? It must be appealing. Wow, that one's hard. Holy crap. Appealing as attractive. Dude, that one was hard. 4135. I'm struggling, yo. I don't know if I'm struggling or if this is just hard. 37. The extent to which political can be trusted. We should not trust them. We should not trust them. Human nature is too easily corrupted by power. Yeah. Easily is a little off, but yeah. $42.10. Competing parties? Consistently, based on like with just like be one group lead to suppression of it. I guess yeah, one group dominating. Yeah. Bottom left dominating. And that's 40 to 45, 44, 40 to 44. 43. I'm pretty confident with that one. Just gonna move on. Based on the idea that anarchism distributes, nope, is indifferent, nope, creates a situation for flourishing, yep. Proper, 81, proper most narrowly means the right conditions. The actual, the right, the genuine, okay. 43, 40. Stop, and then continue. I'm actually super tired, but I'm going to keep going. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Why do woodpeckers, finches, use tools? Interesting. They use twigs to catch insect prey deep within trees. Is it acquired socially? Plausible since previous studies have shown that via social learning. Okay, we'll go straight into experiment design. Broods split into 2 groups. Half were reeled with the tool using, non-tool using model. Never had the opportunity to watch tool use. Developed this ability at a similar age. Social learning is not necessary. Oh, it's whoa. I was not expecting that. Genetically fixed components. What the heck? Okay, we're suddenly talking about New Caledonian crows. A genetic predisposition. However, in contrast to our study, stimulated faster development of tool use. Okay, see, whereas there's no speed difference here. Okay. They scaffold for up to 1 year. A mental template of tool design. Interesting. We're back to woodpeckers, finches. Strong predetermination. They're solitary. Parents are likely to be the only available from parent to offspring during a... Oh, interesting. Would be highly risky. If it's only parents, then that's risky because then that's a breakage point for the information to not cross. It's better to just convey it through genes. Genetically fixed for important social information is uncertain. Yeah, that's honestly not the most intuitive logic. An important part of the diet and crucial to survival. So this is their sort of explanation. Non-social individual learning. Oh, this is a totally different topic. Individual learning does play a role during the ontogeny of tool use. To improve efficiency of this behavior. Oh, 5 individuals developed tool using techniques deviated from tool use performed by birds in the wild. Okay. Into the artificial crevice. Hang on, this tool is a twig, right? Okay. Pulled it out with an upward motion of the beak and levering the prey, like pulling the prey out to within reach. Increase their use of this method. So they can learn. Determined by genetics, but enhanced by learning. Huh. Okay. 48:30. Stop. And let's do my map of the passage. Here we go. Map of the passage. Oh, actually, I'll continue with this. If they had tool using and without tool using, we should see similar. Instances. But actually, weirdly, it actually is greater. What? But there's no statistical significance. It's a statistical thing. That's tough. I'm actually really surprised by this. Effective success with unique levering technique on frequency of success on frequency. Before for success, median frequency is 1. Range is 0 to 5. Wow. Okay, they do learn quite dramatically. Stop. All right, here is my map of the passage for the fifth and final passage. Here we go. So just first column. We have these birds. We're going right into the experiment right away. We're looking at these woodpecker finches. We're wondering if it had a social learning component like chimpanzees. We picked up these broods from the Galapagos Islands and we split them into halves. Half doing tool use, half not seeing any tool use in their infancy. And we saw that both groups, the control and the experimental group, in these broods, both groups developed tool use at the same age. They were not faster than the other, even though they saw tool use. Weird and trippy, honestly. Very trippy. Now, that suggests that there's a strong genetic component to learning tool use in these finches, these woodpecker finches. In contrast to these woodpecker finches, there's these New Caledonian crows, and they actually similar to these finches, they also show a genetic component where they can learn tool use without having like tool use demonstrated to them early as a kid or something like that, as babies. But if you did show them tool use, then you could accelerate their development of this tool use. You can accelerate it. There is a speed difference at least. So they can learn it independently, but you can speed it up with these crows. So that's the middle of the column. Now we're moving down to the bottom of the left side of this page, and it says something like, "What is the difference? Why?" And we talk about the social qualities of the woodpecker finch. The woodpecker finches are highly not antisocial, but they're highly solitary animals, and their only real opportunity for social learning transmission is through their parents. And here's a sort of trippy bit of logic trippy argument that comes out. Top right, okay, new column, new column, still the same paragraph. Well, this is really risky. If you want to socially transmit this very important information, it's really risky because, I guess parents and children can be separated. It's actually a lot safer if you can have a fixed genetic transmission of this kind of information, which is really important for them because it's critical in this sort of migratory phase. I forget what the name of that phrase is, but there's some sort of phase or something like that where they really need this information. So that's the top right. Then it talks about a different experiment. But we did learn through this other experiment, through the same experiment, we did learn something else, which is that they actually can learn that even though social learning makes no real difference for these finches, we did learn that individual learning can improve tool use or increase the amount of tool use. So they noticed that 5 of these finches went out and saw finches out in the wild using tools. And when they came back, they used these twigs in the same way that the ones out in the wild use them. And in the artificial crevices, they would use this tool to lever their prey out so that they can actually chomp on them, munch on them, right? And once they did this, they would do this repeatedly. By the way, this is supported by figure 2. Wow, is that a mosquito? Because that's kind of huge. Give me a second, guys. One sec. Yeah, that was I don't know if you guys could hear that popping sound. But that was an insect popping. Thanks to my handy mosquito net thing. All right. So, sorry, I got distracted. Yeah, so that is almost the end of the map of my passage. So yeah, they found that they were able to teach themselves these skills, these like more sophisticated tool use. The conclusion at the bottom of the right side says, hey, so tool use is genetically determined, but it can be enhanced with solo learning in these finches. Okay, and that's my map of the passage. I would actually say that's a pretty solid map of the passage. I would say that's like definitely B plus at least, if not an A minus. In fact, I would give it an A minus because I got a lot of the. I even got some details in there. I would give it an A actually because I got some major details in there. Some details including that like that region where they're like migrating, where it's like really critical. The contrast and whatnot. I think I got all the I got some solid details there. I don't feel like it's an A plus. I didn't get like every detail, but it was a really solid map of the passage. So that leads me on to my final set of questions for today. Let's go and finish this off. Here we go. Question 42 to 52. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. The purpose is to investigate the woodpecker finches tool using behavior, but not wild and captive raised. No, not the benefits. Okay. 50, 10. That was. The design minimizes the possibility that, okay, what's like something we controlled? Yeah, other than the yeah. I mean, isn't that sort of obvious? Isn't that basic experiment design? It's like over here in the middle. No, it's actually almost at the top. 6 through 9. 6 through 9. That's the only evidence. What the heck? That's like such a strange. It's such like a strangely obvious question. That I feel like kids would actually get it wrong, because it's so obvious. Line 20 and 47, fixed. Probably means a genetically predetermined components. 47. Genetically fixed components, genetically coded, genetically determined, predetermined. Oh, interesting. It's basic. I almost basically predicted that answer. Okay, here we go. The parenthetical serves mainly to. Oh, I don't remember it anymore. Where's the parenthetical? Okay, let's find it again. 26, 27. A human in the study. Oh, interesting. Just, explaining how they did it. Explain how. To explain how. Why? Conflicted? No. Prevalence? Prevalence? No. It is a difference. It is just a difference. They didn't use a human in this particular thing, in this particular experiment. Social system of primates allows for young animals to learn from each other. Yeah. 52, 35. That was just a no-look answer. The conclusion that the finches who used the novel levering technique were displaying individual learning is supported by the fact that they didn't. They learned it on their own. Actually, I don't know. Oh, is A correct? Let me just double check. We don't know about the genetics. They never altered the devices. There's probably not a naturally occurring circumstance that would have favored the development of that technique. What the hell? Okay, let's just go and reread this part because I'm actually lost. Deviated from. Oh my god, I didn't see that. Oh, okay, that's 61, 62. Okay, that answers it. I misread that the first time. 61, 62. 54, 20. Okay, conception line 71. All our understanding of how this behavior develops. 54, 40. The mean number of instances that raised without tool using models. Using twigs. Without tool raising, but using twigs. Without tool raising, but using twigs. It's actually higher. That's 5.6 versus 3.6. If they used it. They use it a lot more after succeeding. After first success, ceased. More than 5 times? A few cease using altogether. No, because there's no 0. So C is incorrect. There's this word 5 times that came out in the answer choices. Let me just check. At least one of them 5 times before. Yeah, there you go. 56, 20. All right, and that's my. I'm not gonna go and double check my answers. I think on the real test I definitely would with all this time that I have left. But I'm just a little tired, guys, and I just want to go straight to the answers today. This is not how I recommend you study. When you study, you actually should double check your answers and triple check your answers before you check the answer key, because it makes you smarter to actually work through these things slowly, deliberately, and painfully. Okay, it does make you smarter to do that. All right, I'm gonna look through the answers now though, because I'm not trying to get smart. I'm just trying to show you. I'm just trying to make a point about how you can take the test. So give me a second as I prepare the answer key. This is 2022 April QAS answers. Here we go. Super tired. All right, we're looking at BACD. Then we have BACD. We also have CCA, CCA, and then we have DDA, DDA. That's 10 for 10. Okay. Then we have 11 to 12 BA. Then we have DAA. That's correct. And then we have DCA. That's correct. And then we have CC. That's correct. That's 10 out of 10. Then we're going DBBCA. Wait, what number are we? Oh, DBBCA 26. BDADC. BDADC. Cool. And that's 10 out of 10. I think I got better at the SAT in the last couple months. Okay, anyway. 31 to 36, we have... Sorry, guys, I forgot to circle. DCD, DBC. ACD, DBC. ACD, DBC. I guess more than one is off. Rational, yeah, analysis. That is super obvious because if you just look at um, 11 to 12, it's pretty obvious. I just didn't really see the answer choice right away, and I rushed a little. Because I didn't even properly eliminate it. Oh well. So -1 over there. 37, let's go. A, A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. And that's 10 out of 11. A little sad there. But you know what? If I wasn't rushing so much, I think I would have been okay with that one. 42. DAC, correct. And then I chose BCA. BCA, correct. And then I chose DABCA. DABCA, that's correct. 11 for 11. So I got 51 out of 52. And that is my map. That is my April 22, 2022. I know a lot of people have been waiting for the April 2022. I was really slow to actually make the stream just because of how intense my summer schedule is, guys. But thank you guys always for watching these videos, and I hope they help you with your studies. And no matter what happens between now and the next test administration, just remember, starting today, you can just choose to grow by focusing on one thing that you can make an improvement on right now. What can you change right now to improve and to grow? Work on that immediately. Don't hold it off. Work on it immediately. Think of the best way to work on it and take some action now. Guys, keep on growing, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. Peace.